Hey guys, welcome back to the Phantom Cast. Fall is upon us. If you haven't already, we're all getting off and out to go to early season hunts. So that's what I'm going to be going over today. I got a high country mule deer hunt I'm going to be heading out to here in the next week or so. And I'm just going to go over what I've got, what I'm going to be taking on that hunt as far as an early season hunt goes. Again, as always, get all the fun stuff out of the way. I'm not paid, not sponsored. All this stuff was bought by me. This is my personal opinion about any of this stuff. Take that with a grain of salt and for what it's worth. With that out of the way, let's get on into this. As always, starting from the feet up, nothing has changed there. There are going to be some gear items here that are changing. First things first, socks. I'm going to be taking probably just 2 pairs of socks. Still running darn tough. Depending on what the weather looks like, I might just take the lightweight sock with the medium weight sock. My only thing is there that I'm a little bit hesitant on and maybe not bring the heavyweight sock as last year around the same time. We had an unexpected squall come through. There was some weather I was planning for, but not for the weather to drop into like the 20s. And down, I don't think it quite touched the teens, but it definitely felt like it. And I wish I had the heavyweight sock. So we'll see. I'll keep a little bit more of an eye on the weather. Right now it's still fairly warm. Hopefully it is dropping. It is starting to feel like fall again, at least in the mornings. But heavyweight sock will probably come with me, but at least be in the truck. And that might be a game time decision come time to hit the trailhead or not, whether or not I take the heavyweight sock. More than likely, it'll be that lightweight sock and the midweight sock. I only take 2 pairs of socks. I've just found that taking a bunch of different socks just kind of adds weight. Not that's necessarily a lot of weight, but just not needed. I end up rotating the socks out anyway, and usually only get through 1 or 2 pairs anyway. So I probably will just take the 2, more than likely, but we'll see when we get there. From there, again, still going to be running my crispy boots. As you can see, there's miles on these bad boys. Still love the boots. They're very well broken in now. Tread, it's a little bit chewed up here in the front, but nothing too terribly bad. Nothing that I'm concerned with having to replace the boot yet. Lots of miles on those. Didn't track the mileage, but I will definitely say you get a pair of crispy boots, there's a pretty extended break-in period with them. Especially with the shoelaces, which was kind of weird. They just would constantly untie until they got wet one time, and then I don't have that issue anymore. But love the boots. Again, these are the crispy Wyomings. Love them. Gonna be rocking those. Also, still gonna be running some Kuiu Katana gaiters. I rarely ever go anywhere anymore without gaiters. These gaiters are pretty legit. They've been working very well for what the cost was. They're for under $100. I've got some pretty rock solid results with these guys. They're not falling apart still. The band on the bottom here is still in really good shape. It's not slipping. The hook is in good shape. I'm just not having any issues with these. The only thing I'm really finding is, like all gaiters, the band here on the top is kind of worn out a little bit, so they're starting to slide down, which isn't too terribly bad, but I mean, things wear out over time, but overall, they're still waterproof, still running great. Haven't had any issues with these gaiters, so still running them. Okay, moving on up from there. Now we're going to start running into some changes here. As you can see, I've got several pairs of pants here. Kuiu wise anyway. I've been very high on the Katana pant. I still kind of am. The material is good. I've really enjoyed these pants for what they are. Are they worth $160? I think they might have upped their prices. I noticed Kuiu upped a lot of their prices, which I get it. The economy kind of sucks and you got to make some money, but I don't think these pants are worth what they're saying they are. Again, I've already talked about before, the zippers fail. So the fly zipper here has failed me. So not taking those. Here's the Pro Pant. I made a video earlier, a quick review of these Pro Pants. number of months back. I believe it was spring. And going back to running these, I've still do like the material. Material's been great. I'm not having any issues with material thinning out. I'm not having any beading or any like fuzzy frillies, anything like that showing up. But again, I've just gotten to the point with this one that the side zippers, they just constantly come undone. It's really been a problem. You can see that they're working now. I'll probably put a little blip that I went through in the spring. Really been a problem. You can see that they're working now. I'll probably put a little blip that I went through in the spring where it's just, gosh dang it, where it's just constantly failing. And I do a little talk there, so I'll probably put that blip there. So at any moment in time, I feel like any one of these number of zippers could fail. So I'm just tired of it. Here's another pair of Kuiu pants that I have worn and spent a lot of time in. These are the Kuiu attack pants. Again, even in the crotch area, which I usually blow out super quick, it's not thinning. It's still holding very well intact. You can see the seams and edges are kind of worn. I wore these pants pretty much primarily for work, and they've been great. I've started wearing them on a few trips hunting and stuff. They've been good. But again, it's a zipper problem. So my zipper here on my pocket has completely failed and separated. Try to see if I can show that on the camera. There. So there's another pant and another zipper that has failed. Is it the end of the world? Are these pants useless? No. Same with the pro pant. They're not useless. The katanas, different story. The fly's done. So, but my thing is, and I've said it before in other videos, is once something stops working for me, I got to move on. I got to move on. I'll still wear these pants, but not for a backpack trip, because at some point or another, I'm going to be concerned about a zipper failing, which more than likely, my experience with these zippers, they are going to fail. So there you go. Moving on from Kuiu, I've opted, and again, I was really close to going back to First Light. First Light is an Idaho company, obviously based in Idaho. They've been bought by the Meat Eater Corporation. I don't know if corporation is the correct term, but they're owned by Meat Eater, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. They do great things. If you haven't heard of them and you've heard of me, you live under a rock. So check them out. Awesome group of dudes. They do great for the community. They do great for all sorts of programs. Check them out. But again, I feel like I'm going to be kicking myself in the butt someday once I actually do try some. But I'm actually going to start reaching out and trying a bunch of different stuff from different companies here. But for this year, this fall, after getting tired of going through the Kuiu stuff, I'm going to be rocking some Stone Glacier stuff. So here I've got a Stone Glacier underwear. I'm going to buy another pair prior to me leaving. This was the only pair that they had in stock at the time of the store that I went in and checked them out. So I'm going to be rocking their merino wool underwear base layer, which is going to be great. Last year I wore some, it wasn't a great idea. I usually just wore some basic cotton underwear. Last year I wore some Under Armour compression shorts, thinking that that would be good because on day hunts it's fine. That was not the greatest idea in the world. I'll tell you that much. That was not good. So I'm trying some Stone Glacier merino wool. They make really good products, so I want to try them out. I'm originally from Montana, so I understand that the owner's not, but supporting a Montana company. So therefore, I'm trying out one of their pants. So this is the Havalon. I'm not sure. I know they have the Havalon Light. This is not the Light. This is the heavier duty version of that. I thought about getting the Light, but again, my experience from last year, I'm going to be in the same area in Idaho where I was at last year, but, or similar area, sorry. But after last year and going through some colder weather, even in the middle of September, I got snowed on. I just figured, you know what, I'll survive by having a little bit heavier pant than to wear a lighter pant and get cold. And so I went with these guys. I really liked them. I tried these ones on. They fit perfect. They fit the way I liked them, that athletic fit. I know I've got thunder thighs, probably run a little bit more maybe, I don't know. But I want a little bit heavier material that would take care of that for me and not be an issue. The other thing is too is these side vent zippers completely open up. It does bug me a little bit that there's not like a mesh in there, especially if it's like spring. So if I'm not walking around, I'm going to have crap coming into my pant. But you know what? The amount of heat that this is going to dump, especially with how thick the material is, if it's like a 75, 80 degree day and I got to hump it out somewhere else, then I can do so and not sweat this sucker out too much. So I like that. The other thing I really like is just checking out. That was one of the things I was looking at when I was looking at getting some different gear was the zipper construction. Get these pants, the stitching looks phenomenal. The material, it's a little swishy, but I'll expect as I use them more, they'll break down and not be as swishy like most other pants. So I'm not terribly concerned with that. But the zipper construction and the strength and the durability of the zippers was really what I was looking at. Looking at these zippers, they seem more robust, and they operate a hell of a lot smoother than what Kuiu zippers were even doing. So I feel like the zipper construction is going to be pretty dang good. Shouldn't be an issue there. I realize I got a knife in my pocket still from when I wore them at the range. So wondered where that went. Weird. So in the pockets too, I kind of like. They're not zipper pockets, so it's not another thing that can fail, which is kind of cool. Like all the Kuiu stuff has zippers on everything, so at some point or another, I think it could fail. But they just have this overlap on that before you open it up, and the cargo pockets are the same. So that little really quiet button that snaps, I'm trying to make it make noise. I don't know if the mic's picking that up at all. Yeah, there we go. Super quiet. Not worried about that at all. And the other thing that's really nice that I've noticed with these pants is they've not made the pocket. I feel like they've added some extra material, as you can see that fold there, to that pocket. So it's not skin tight to the thigh. Like I said, I got thunder thighs. And so getting anything into the cargo pocket of any of the Kuiu pants was really difficult and really frustrating to even get it back in the pocket, let alone take it out. So that's going to be cool. I'm excited to wear these pants. I've only worn them around a little bit, like to the range and stuff. Nothing really cool yet. But I like this design here. I forget what they call it, but a lot of guys are really stoked about it because they say as you lose weight in the mountains, you can just cinch this sucker down. It's kind of an internal belt. So that I really like. The only weird thing is that I find kind of weird about it is I don't have a button up here to buckle into. This is kind of the buckle that holds it all together, which I find interesting, but some of the videos that I've checked out and watched, it hasn't been a problem or an issue. So screw it. I'll give it a try and wear that, and then with the belt on over the top. So yeah, I'm excited to try these pants out and see how they go, and maybe get a review after the hunt and see how it goes. I'm excited to try those pants. With that being said, I know I'm still going to be running the Katana gaiters here, and I know I've gone over it already, but I've picked up a pair of, like in my hands, I haven't bought them yet, but picked up a pair of Stone Glacier gaiters, and those things seem to be absolutely rock solid. So I'm probably going to be trying to rock some of those. If I don't buy them before I leave here in the next couple of weeks, then definitely for later in the fall, like late October, I've got another elk hunt coming up. I'm probably going to get a pair of those. So, all right. That being said, that is the Lower extremity out of the way. For the belt, if somebody does ask, I'm not running any specific belt. I'm running an old belt. It's an old leather belt with a fishing game belt buckle on it. Nothing cool, nothing fancy, not some super mountain climber belt. It works, keeps my pants up. Perfect. Okay, cool. Moving on up. So again, for a base layer, nothing's really changed there. I still do like these two products. The only thing that would change is I've got like a heavier duty base, like skin tight base layer that's got the silver lining in it. If you're not a believer in that, wear it. It'll probably change your mind because that thing keeps me warm. That'll probably be for the late season attire. But for this trip, I'm going to be rocking two different base layers. One's going to be my Kuiu Merino Wool 125 t-shirt. Starting to get some holes in the back of it. It's just starting to wear out. I've had it now for a number of years, and so it's just wearing out. But other than that, it's still fine. Still is a good base layer. Going to be rocking that. Still like it. It doesn't stretch out too much. It's kind of starting to get a little bit baggier. And that's just, I mean, after years of use. So gonna be wearing that. That'll probably go in the interior of my pack. This probably won't come out until I need it or specifically want it. There's that. That'll come with the other base layer. This thing I'm wearing all the time. You guys see me in this all the time. This is the Gila long sleeve. I like it. It works great. Keeps me from, as you can see, I'm about as close to being a ginger as you could be. I'm not. My sunburn, usually I'll get darker after I burn, but this is some good protection. Keeps me from getting sunburned because once you're burnt, it just sucks. And I hate sunscreen, and especially being in the mountains, the more you apply it on, the greasier you get, the nastier you get, the dirtier you get. So if I can avoid that, I do. So I'll be wearing that. From there, moving this way, again, so like with the pants, I'm changing some things up here. I've actually found myself kind of reverting backwards a little bit and intermixing some gear. And this Kuiu stuff has been great. It's worked very well. I have some discrepancies in there and some things that have really been irking me, as I'll go over them, but at a later time. But so with these layers, there's going to be a little bit of a change up. There might be some changes here come to game day. But the next best base layer up is still going to be the Peloton 200. I still do like this. Again, you'll find like I have no problem with the material the Kuiu uses, especially years back. Now, I don't really know. Some of the stuff I've been seeing, they've been putting a bunch of different stuff out, like all kinds of stuff. And I feel like they're just getting lost and trying to make money more than they are trying to make a good product. That's my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt. So again, Peloton 200, still been great. Still going to rock this for like your earlier, cooler times in the mornings or evenings. I'm going to throw this bad boy on. Even in 67-degree weather, sitting in the shade, it's not bad to have. So I'll still have that. It's still in good shape. Got a couple of frillies coming apart, but nothing wild. It's not completely coming apart at all, like at all. Okay, so I know I've already been outwardly spoken about these two vests. I have the Kuiu Axis vest here. It's still a good vest. It blocks the wind. It's just not warm whatsoever. And again, I know it's not necessarily designed to be that sit-down glass type vest, but I want a little bit more warmth for what the cost of this is. If I remember, I got this thing for like 160-ish, somewhere in that ballpark, not quite 200. It might be now like in the 180s, but I haven't checked the Kuiu website in quite some time, at least for prices, because I already own the sweater or the vest. But it blocks the wind. It's still water resistant. It still pairs pretty well with that Peloton 200 garment, but it's just not warm for the cost of what it is. It is ultralight and it is super thin, but I would expect a little bit more warmth, or have learned that I want a little bit more warmth out of a vest such as this. And the zipper construction, like, I haven't had any issues with the zippers on this guy, at least not yet. But as you can see, I've got my Under Armour vest, and I've touted this vest. I've had nothing negative to say about this vest whatsoever. It's warm. It's a little bit thicker, not even really a thicker material than this vest. No, it's really not. I've just, for whatever reason, have found this vest to be warmer. So I'm more than likely, out of all honesty, going to be running this vest over this vest this fall. But we'll see. I don't want to take both of them. I really don't want to take both of them. There's no reason to take two different vests to do the same job. But there's a good chance I'm probably going to take this one over that Axis vest and run with that. I know Under Armour's been super weird. They've dropped their sponsored hunters and they've been super weird about it. So you can freak out on me if you want for using some Under Armour stuff, but the Under Armour stuff that I bought has been good. I mean, it's been good quality. I still wear their workout stuff, so take that as it may. Okay, moving on to the next layer, kind of your heavier jacket. Again, I'm finding myself kind of revert back. So I've got the Peloton 240 here with the hood. Okay, I haven't had any issues with this. It's not as, I haven't felt like it's as wind resistant as they like to make it sound to be. I still feel the wind coming through this unless I've got the Axis jacket on over the top or underneath. If I throw this on over both of those. The thing that bugs me about these outer jackets of Kuiu, unless it's like a shell or something, you don't have any zippers. Like, you don't have the pocket zipper or pocket up here by the chest. You do down here, and they do try to raise it up a little bit more, so that way when you're wearing your pack, it doesn't interfere and you're still able to access it. But I would like to have a little bit a pocket up here, just kind of something that I've learned that's kind of bugged me. But overall, this jacket's been fine. It's been working just fine for the next couple of years, or for the last couple of years that I've had it now. But I might end up taking my, I think it's my Storm jacket, my Ridge Reaper Storm jacket. It doesn't have a hood, and you guys know that I like having hoods on my jackets. Like my Peloton 200, that's a not a base layer, but that's like a mid layer. I like having a hood, and I like stacking hoods on top of each other if I need to. This doesn't have a hood, but I'm in part willing to take this because even though, like, the dings that I've had against this, and they weren't very many of them. The Peloton 240, I feel like just hasn't quite offered or came or delivered the same as what this has. This is, and I know I've been wet in this. I've been in the rain and I've been wet in this, and it's not super water resistant, but that's the same with this. Like, water hits this and it beads off. If I'm going to be in any type of precipitation, rain, sleet, snow, anything like that, this is not going to be my outer layer. I'm going to end up throwing on something that is waterproof. And so I've just found that the positives over this positives for this don't outweigh this jacket. And to be honest with you, I felt like this jacket has been slightly warmer than this jacket. So that'll be a game time decision. I might wear the two a little bit around earlier in the mornings just to kind of feel the difference. And yes, I am weird like that. So might wear the two just to try them out, but don't be surprised if you see me in this one. And this could just be me going back to like nostalgia and like liking the pattern and going, oh man, you know, I'm feeling bad I have this and I don't wear it, but we'll see. We'll see. That might be another game time decision. Okay, so now our shells. We're kind of moving away from like the mid-layer jacket type stuff to our shell, our more water resistant, more waterproof type stuff. So again, last year at the same time, I'm going to be in the same area of Idaho, similar area anyway, of Idaho, and it snowed, right? And dropped super cold. The one jacket I did wish that I had at that time was my Axis jacket. Okay, I do like this jacket, especially when I'm up moving around. I do like it. It's not a sit down and glass type jacket unless you have a bunch of layers on underneath it. But even if you do have a bunch of layers on underneath it, you do get pretty hot, pretty dang hot. I've actually become kind of timid. And again, like I said, like if gear stops working for me, it drives me nuts. So I found myself being super timid using the armpit zips here, which can be a pain to use because, as I've said before in the review of this jacket, my zipper failed on the first time taking this guy out. So I find myself being really skeptical and really like nervous on using the pit zips when I'm wearing it. And so I just end up sucking it out and unzipping the whole front and letting heat just barrel out of here. But I did miss this jacket. I wish I had it just for a little bit of extra protection. So this guy probably is going to come with. Probably. More than likely. It's waterproof on the top here. Go over that real quick. It's not like a rain jacket. If I do take this, I may or may not take my rain jacket, but we'll see. But because it's waterproof up to the top and to the shoulders, and then past that, it's water resistant. So basically hits all the things that you need and then breathable everywhere else. So that'll probably come with, unless I just bring my rain jacket. I'm glad I had this last year when I started sleeting pretty hard one of those days, off and on throughout the day. It was good to have. I was dry. But again, there's just no warmth to it, and that's what made me miss this guy. Even with everything on underneath, it blocks the wind really well, but there's nothing holding that heat in, especially when I stopped and glassed. I know I could throw the puffy on, but when it's having that kind of weather, you don't want to take this off and then put the puffy on, then put this on over top, or put the puffy on over this. So that's kind of where I found myself wishing I had the Axis jacket just for that little extra warmth. So one of the two may not make it, preferably just for weight reasons. The rain jacket will more than likely go over the Axis jacket, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Okay, last layer, wearing on the top, is the puffy jacket. You guys see me in this thing. I put it on when I'm wearing my Gila and my vest, and I'm just sitting there, and it gets a little bit of chill rather than throwing layer. Throw this bad boy on, and I'm warm. Having all my layers on, throw this on, I'm warm, good to go. The only thing I have learned with this puffy jacket, obviously, it's not windproof at all. So if you are going to get something like this and it's that lightweight, definitely have it underneath something that is windproof. Otherwise, you're just not going to feel the warmth. So I like it's compactable. I'm not going to compact it or put it into its ball. You guys have seen that before. Yeah, so that's coming with. The one thing I said I was going to invest in, still haven't, is puffy pants. Reason being is just the issues that I've had with Kuiu. I haven't wanted to buy Kuiu product. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get a pair of Stone Glaciers or something else. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Don't have them yet, but we'll see. Accessory items I'm going to bring. Again, my attack gloves. Still really like these gloves. Going to be wearing these bad boys. They work great. They do the job. They are a little bit warm, even for, you know, your early season hunt, but that's more than likely just because of the leather. Heat doesn't really escape that leather, especially when you're putting off a lot of heat. So I'm gonna be wearing those. I hate my hands, putting my hands down into stuff and getting pricked, and just drives me nuts when I have little stickers in my hands, and plus they get sore and stuff. So I'll wear those. I'll bring my my Guide X gloves as well. They're a little bit more warmth than the attack gloves. Probably need to wash them before I go, but just a little bit more warmth. They're not super warm. You're not moving around and they're warm, but you stop them in glass, they can get kind of chilly. Definitely for October, end of October is when that elk hunt is. Last week of October, first week of November, probably going to be getting a warmer pair of gloves, which more than likely is going to be First Light or Stone Glacier, or something else. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to try and piece together a bunch of different gear items and rock what I like. And then again, last thing, I still like this merino wool neck gaiter. Still going to rock this guy. I like it. Just throw it on real quick, especially with the hood on the Gila shirt. There's a lot of mosquitoes and stuff. Just throw this on real quick, protect the neck. And if it's a little bit cold, it's nice to have around the neck. A little bit extra warmth. So, okay. That is what I'm going to be taking for my early season hunt. Like I said, some of the stuff probably isn't going to make it. You know, like the items that are going to be in my pack. I guess I can cover that real quick. The items that are going to be on my person going in, just so that way you're not looking at this big pile of stuff here, thinking, holy cow, that's all going to go in your pack. No, it's not. Like I said, there'd be a game time decision on some of these items, but stuff that's going to be on my person coming in, you know, is like this. I'm just going to throw them off to the side here. Gaiters, boots, I'm not going to throw those. Pants, let's say midweight sock. Definitely at first the Gila shirt, that'll be going in, so that'll be in my pack. This will be in the pack. One of these two items, let's say I decide to take this, so that'll be in the pack. Okay. One of these two, let's say I decide to take that guy. So those two will be in my pack. Oh. And out of these two, let's say Axis jacket makes it, rain jacket doesn't. And you guys know that this comes down into a ball about that big, so not going to do that. That'll be in my pack. Oh, sorry. One of the gloves, sorry, that worked. So that'll be, well, yeah, or on. So I just threw the Guide X gloves over there instead of the attack gloves, sorry. So there you go. This will be minus one pair of underwear. This is what would be in my pack. So not a whole lot now when you actually look at it, because this can fold down super small, compact. You know, you look at it, if I was to put everything on top of each other like this, fold it down, small. And like, you know, this folds down to about the same size as that. So when you narrow it down, it's really not too much. It's still pretty light. I'd say it's probably about five-ish pounds of gear. So not the end of the world. Not this big giant pile that we had in here just a second ago. So, all right, well, guys, that is going to be my early season layering system for the year. That's coming out in September. If you found this helpful, that's awesome. But later on down the road, as I've said, I'm going to be trying out a bunch of different stuff. Just going to pick and choose some items that I have my eye on, and some things that are kind of maybe some niche things that'll work for me, and just go from there. one thing I definitely have learned from buying all this Kuiu stuff and doing all my research and dumping, a bunch of money. I mean, it can be an investment. The thing is do you need this stuff to hunt? Like, seriously, think about it. Do you need all this stuff to hunt? No. No, you don't. Dudes are going out in tennis shoes. Myself, I've done this before too, in my high school years. Going out in tennis shoes, jeans, a fleece sweatshirt that's like gray or whatever color, their high school colors, to dudes wearing just flannel and jeans and cowboy boots and their wooden rifle, and they go out and they kill animals. So the caveat that I want to give you guys here is all this stuff is cool. It is super cool to have, and it does create a little bit of an edge, somewhat, because you're dry, you're warm. If you get wet, your stuff dries quick. You're not sweating stuff out, like it does have a purpose. But the thing I want you guys to take from this is buy what works for you. Don't put all your money into one lot, kind of like I did here, thinking that it was going to be the best in the world and thinking that it's going to solve a lot of the problems that I had in the field, being cold, minor inconveniences, gear falling apart. I thought that was the answer for a lot of things, but it's ultimately not. Find what works best for you. This is what works for me. If it works for you, then cool. By all means, give it a try. Just try a bunch of different stuff and have fun with it. And what you find works for you, rock it. So, alrighty, guys. With that being said, if you made it this far, I appreciate that. Good luck this season. I certainly need it. And I'll leave you guys. And with that, be smart, be safe, be wise, fellas or gals, and happy hunting.